Hi guys, Robert1 here, coming at you with a new Yu-Gi-Oh video. And today's today's new Yu-Gi-Oh video is going to be talking about basically Yu-Gi-Oh as in the TCG card game versus Duel Links, the mobile phone app. Now, I know I haven't really touched upon Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links before because Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links isn't a topic that I'm too familiar with because I've never had a phone for it. But recently I got a new phone, the phone that I'm actually recording on now. My mate helped me get this phone, old garbage, old rubbish phone here that I'm still going to use to record because it was a gift from a good friend of mine. And yeah, but tell me if you like this quality of the camera as well, because I always like to know quality. And when I got this new phone, one of the first things I wanted to try was Yu-Gi-Oh Duel Links, because I've personally never played Duel Links. I've always had an interest in it, but I've never really been able to play it because this isn't an Android, this isn't a Windows phone, this is a Windows phone. It's a piece of... It's not the best quality phone. It's not crap because it's actually got a really good camera in my opinion, but it's just not worth the time, really, for stuff like games. It's more like I use this to read and I used this to actually just play, to just record, just call people, text people. That's all this phone was ever used for. But now that I've got this new phone that we're recording on right now, I sort of wanted to delve into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, and I've got to admit, I got addicted to it. I've put, like, this week alone, probably 48 hours at least, because it was like I really wanted to play this and I was really enjoying it. The game in general was really fun, and I just really wanted to compare Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links to Yu-Gi-Oh! The real TCG game. Just compare the two and their differences, because they're both really fun, but they're very different from each other, and that's what some people seem to not realize at times, because sometimes people get into the real TCG game and don't actually compare the two before actually getting into it. So what we're going to do here today is just talk about the two in general and just discuss basically the points between the two and the differences, and just like give my full opinion on it and give my full reaction to it, because I've been putting solid time in it. I've actually gotten pretty far. I've been using a Beast Warrior deck, and it's actually really fun. I've got to Gold Rank 4, and there's currently the Kyber Corp tournament. I've not really been able to surpass level 12 of the Kyber Corp tournament. I've gotten to level 11 right now, but I went to level 12, sadly lost some duels because Cyber Angels are annoying, and I've only had the deck game for a few days, so haven't got a ton of different cards and options to play. Got heroes, but I don't think they'll be able to match up. But yeah, so the two games in general are very different, and I just really wanted to compare the two. And I know I've rambled throughout the first couple of minutes through this video, and I know that might be different and might be weird, because I've just been talking complete gibberish, especially about my old phone. When I tried to trade this in, because I was like, I need to save as much money as possible, they tried to offer me a penny for it. Nah, I kept the phone. But I wanted to keep it to begin with. It's just like, if I can, I can. But yeah, when the two games in general, let's get into the discussion video, because I'm just going to keep rambling on if I don't get into it. So the two games in general are actually very different. The two games are very different in their own respects, seeing as Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is a mobile app, seeing as it's digital, it has digital currency such as gems, coins to trade with the card trader. Packs is the same kind of, but they only give you 3 cards. Each pack costs about around 50 gems. And something you need to realize with Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links when it comes to the real game is that the games are very different, and I'm kind of going to compare the two here. Now, from what I've played so far in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, from my 48-hour bang out of the game, is that the two games in general are very, very different, but also very similar. Of course, they're going to be similar because they have the same sort of premise. They work on the same premise. But looking at the two games in general, looking at Duel Links to begin with. Let's look at Duel Links. Duel Links in general, it's a game. It's an online mobile game. So when you're playing it, you can play it for free. You can put money into it if you want. I personally wouldn't put money into a mobile game because I'm not going to gain anything out of it. But basically, it's a mobile game which has online transactions, but it's also a game that you can actually gain tons of rewards from it. And what is the basic premise of the game? Well, the basic premise of the game, from what I've come to understand... sorry, 1 second, guys. I've got my drink over here. Always be prepared. With a bit of OJ. And the basic premise of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is you're playing as yourself, but you're also playing as other main protagonists from the Yu-Gi-Oh! Series. Now, currently, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links only has 2 series in it. It has Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters, which is Yugi, Kaiba, Joey, and all the rest from Yu-Gi-Oh! From the original series. I've currently gotten to the Paradox Brothers as well, and I'm trying to unlock Pegasus and other people. And the basic premise of the game is you're going through it, trying to unlock these players to get their cards, and also trying to build your own decks in the process. And the campaign is very simple. It's basically, you build your own deck. You build your own deck out of cards you get. You start off with either Yugi or you start off with Kaiba. I started off with Yugi because Dark Magician for life. Blue Eyes, you can go to that ditch over there. Yeah, go to the ditch. I don't want to deal with you, Blue Eyes. No language. I don't monetizes. And basically, you go through them, and in the same is with Yu-Gi-Oh! GX, which follows Jaden, Cyrus, Chaz Princeton. Currently, I haven't gotten to Cyrus. I believe you can unlock him, but I've got is Jaden, Chaz, and Alexis. And those are basically the 3 people I've unlocked so far. And from what I've got from this so far is that basically there's a basic level up scheme for each character. Now, the level up scheme is every time you level up, you get a certain item, such as a card or an extra deck slot, or even an ability, or gems, or anything such as that to kind of get more currency in the game, to get more packs. And while playing through the game, you keep upgrading your characters to these certain points. Now, the cards you're going to get for each upgrade is something related to the characters, such as Chaz Princeton. I've unlocked an Ojama card for Jaden. I've unlocked like Elemental Hero Flame Wingman. Cards that you unlock with them, and you also, and with abilities as well that you can unlock, which you can actually use in-game once you meet a certain requirement, is you can basically gain these abilities, add them to your deck, and these abilities can give you certain abilities. Such with me, I'm using Joey Wheeler because he has the Field of Warriors, which basically puts a field spell on the board that gives a 200 boost to Warriors and Beast Warriors. And there's also other abilities in the game that basically increase your life points, increase hand size, increase life points, increase all sorts of other things in the game. Like, you do increase quite a bit with what you have. And for every one of these things that you get, you can increase the level. And for every one of these abilities you get, you can use those abilities in games. And that's something very different to the normal game of Yu-Gi-Oh! Because while playing the game, you're actually gaining experience, you're gaining levels, and you're gaining cards. And through this, you're basically gaining your experience in the game, and you're going through a basic campaign, which the game has. And that's very interesting. It's very different compared to the normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, where you're just playing tabletop games and you're not really going anywhere with it. And when you compare the two from that standpoint, Duel Links is a much better game, but the game also has much different mechanics to the Yu-Gi-Oh! Game, such as abilities, as I just stated, but also you only start with 4,000 life points. You only start the duel with 4,000 life points and 4 cards in hand. There is no main phase 2. You only have your draw phase, standby phase, main phase, battle phase, and end phase. There is no main phase 2 in the game. And that's something you've got to look up when you're playing Duel Links. You've got to take that into account while playing it, and I need some more juice. Really is nice to have some OJ. But yeah, so when you're playing Duel Links, you've got all sorts of different abilities, different hand sizes, different phases, and looking at the game in general, the game has a lot of different aspects. Like, it even has an online aspect where you can duel online competitive players. You can play against these players on the line and get ranked accordingly. As I said, I'm gold rank 4. In the current tournament, I'm rank 11 in level 11. And as you go up in these ranks, you also gain certain things, such as you can gain experience points. You can gain, if you win a certain amount of games, you get certain rewards, such as ultra rare tokens to trade for ultra rare cards, all sorts of gems and stuff as well. And it's basically the same as normal Yu-Gi-Oh in that aspect, where you win a locals, you win a certain amount of times, you get packs, you get packs. You could win deck boxes if you go to regional. I'm sorry, guys. Terrible throat. Dealing with a cough. But yeah, so as you're going along, you're actually getting all this additional stuff. And that's very interesting for the game because it's very different to normal Yu-Gi-Oh! And the game even has an auto duel function, so if you want to duel one of the CPUs, you can actually just click auto duel and the game will progress as it is just dueling for yourself. Like, you're not dueling, you're just letting an AI duel for you. And I think that's alright, but I personally don't like it. Because it's basically taking away from the game. But it's a very good feature at times when you are busy and you don't have other things to do. Like this week I also had to do coursework, so definitely helped me there when I wanted to just get these CPUs out of the way. I needed to do coursework. Every 2 seconds that it finished, I just clicked on another duel and done. And that's kind of like the thing with Duel Links. Duel Links is very interesting for that respect, because it's something that it's something that you don't expect. It's something that you don't really pay attention to that much because of it. And it's very interesting because of that. And because of that, I feel like Duel Links is very interesting for that fact, and why I wanted to kind of do a video like this, discussing the two different games and comparing them. And Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links also has another sort of feature where you can basically buy online packs. Basically, these packs you can either pay real money, such as a £1 for like 10 packs, I think is, and this £1 is going to get you 10 packs. These packs have free cards in them. You have a certain chance of getting ultra rares, secret rares. Ultra rares are higher than secret rares for some reason. I don't know why they decided to switch this between the two games, but I kind of like it because it means that it's kind of diversing the two games apart. It's making them different. And you also get your standard rares, commons, and stuff as well. And these ratios depend on how many packs you get. Like, for me, I usually stack up my points so I can get 10 packs per amount. So when I get 500 gems as well, each pack can also cost 50 gems. I will spend these 500 gems, get 10 packs, open these packs, hopefully get what I need. Like, currently I'm trying to get Mirror Wall and Senju of the Thousand Hands, because I'm trying to either build a Ritual deck or strengthen my Beast Warrior deck, or even try and build Glad Beast, because Glad Beasts are actually a pretty fun archetype to play in Duel Links, and I kind of can't play them properly online because I don't have the cards. But yeah, so essentially they have its own pack scheme as well, and you can also get like starter decks as well. There's the hero one, which I got instantaneously, Heroes for Life, maxing out Jaden as we speak. You can also get a spellcaster deck. You can get a dragon deck. You can get a Red Eyes deck, I believe, as well. A warrior deck. No, a Joey's warrior deck. The equip spell deck that we got like in 2006 or something, which is really cool because they're kind of implementing real starter decks into the mix of Yu-Gi-Oh, which I really do like. And so essentially you have all of these stuff, plus you can also get customizables such as mats. You can get mats, you can get icons, you can get sleeves, like I'm currently using the anniversary sleeves, which is the I'm using the Slifer the Sky Dragon sleeves, and I'm using the anniversary mat that has Jaden and Yugi on it because I think it looks really nice. And that's essentially the game so far. There's a lot of ranked play. There's ranked play, there's campaign play, which I like doing as well. I like doing a mixture of both. And I'm not gonna lie, guys, I have when your group chat decides to message you, I suppose, I'm gonna quickly mute that. I can't. I don't know. This is a new phone, still working out everything. But yeah, getting more into that. Basically, the deck, like Duel Links, is very different. Like, it's actually very changing. It's different from the game. Has different mechanics, different sort of pack ratios, different sort of campaign. Which I really do enjoy the campaign, especially just reading all the text boxes and seeing like the interactions between different players and different sort of archetypes and people. Plus, I like how they've done the pack scheme where you get a certain amount of gems. I wish they did pack schemes with coins and made packs maybe a little more easier to accomplish, because like I've got a ton of coins but I can't really use them except if I'm using them for the card trader, but you can only really use coins to trade for normal cards, common cards. But the game is really good compared to the normal Yu-Gi-Oh! But let's also talk about the normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Now, normal Yu-Gi-Oh! In the aspect of Duel Links is a lot different, whereas where we play in real life. Let's just pull out an example. We play on proper mats, different field zones. That's something I should have explained as well in Duel Links. You actually have different zones as well, where you only really use these three zones. These three zones here, and you use your graveyard, deck zone, field spell zone, and extra deck zone. And that's very different as well to the game, because the layout is very, very different to a normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Game. But yeah, so essentially, this Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a lot different as well, because we have a bigger sort of playmat, where we have like 5 monster zones, and a lot of you will already know this, but like the TCG game is a lot more competitive than Duel Links, I would like to say. Like obviously it's going to be competitive on Duel Links as well. I'm not saying it won't be, because Duel Links is obviously, it has a ranked mode. It's got a lot of different sort of areas to play. It's got a lot of different sorts of aspects that you can play with it. But essentially, the difference between the two games, in my opinion, is that the way you play them is a lot different, and because of this, it kind of changes the look of it. Because the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, the actual Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG trading card game is a lot different. As in, we play with real cards. Cards are a lot more expensive, and it's a lot. Not like you have to use real money to get them, but the difference between the two games is, in my opinion, is that the real TCG game is a lot more skillful. You actually have to go to places, you travel places, interact with people. Like on the mobile app on the phone, you don't have to interact with your opponent whatsoever. You can just be like, oh, I'm going to play this. I don't have to talk to them. I don't have to do anything with them. I can just play. But when you're playing in a real tournament, you sort of have to pay attention to your opponent. You have to listen to them. You have to sort of ask them for responses. And that's a lot different to the Duel Links game. Like Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG versus Duel Links is a lot different because of this. As in, if you're playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, you're not talking to your opponent. You're just playing against them. If you're playing the campaign, you're just playing it. You're not doing anything. Like, that's a lot different to me compared to normal Yu-Gi-Oh! And normal Yu-Gi-Oh! in general is very different to the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG as well, where if you're playing a real game, you're going to be just completely interacting with your opponent, as I said just a second ago. You're going to also be having to think about your plays. You don't have really a time limit. Like so in the game, in Duel Links, you have like 2 minutes to make a move. In the real game, you could think for like 5 minutes, and also you're also making plays within that time and you kind of doesn't stack up, in my opinion. At least from what I've seen, the timer doesn't stack up. So if you do something, it won't go up in time. You always have a certain amount of seconds per turn. So in Duel Links, I'm sorry, it's a lot different. And because of this, it's kind of different in general compared to Duel Links versus real Yu-Gi-Oh! And like with Yu-Gi-Oh!, as I said, you're playing on a different field, you're interacting with your opponents, you actually got real decks, real cards, you've got to think. You've got to think about what you're doing, in opposed to just being like, I'm going to play this. It's going to, like, Duel Links on a competitive level is a lot different. Because Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, compared to normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Is a lot different, seeing as when you're comparing the two, at least when I compare the two, it's like, okay, Duel Links, you've got basic normal summon, you've got some special summons, you've got ritual fusion, but in normal Yu-Gi-Oh! You also have Synchro, you have Xyz, you have Pendulum, you have Link. Like, Duel Links compared to the levels is a lot different, because Duel Link is here. It's on the first stage of Yu-Gi-Oh! This is the first stage of Yu-Gi-Oh! Now we go to Synchro, then we go Xyz, then we go Pendulum, and now we're at a Link. So Duel Links is like 1, 2, 3, 4 stages behind. And being 4 stages behind, Duel Links is on a completely different spectrum to Yu-Gi-Oh! Seeing as in Duel Links, compared to the actual game, it's like, look at this. We've got Duel Links. We've got Duel Links, which is a lot different to normal Yu-Gi-Oh! Whereas you are just playing on your phone, and then you've got Yu-Gi-Oh!, which the TCG trading card game, which is in real life, in person, where you're going out to interact with people, talk to friends, and that's I'm sorry. That's very different compared to the two games. Like, seriously, like you got 10 zones instead of, you've got 5 spell and trap card zones and 5 monster zones instead of 3 spell and trap card zones and 3 monster zones. You've got link zones, you've got extra monster zones, you've got 5 cards in hand, 6 cards in hand potentially instead of 4. You've got, as I said, a whole lot more extra cards. You've got so many different comparisons to the two games that it's really hard to say which one is better and which one is different. Like, personally, Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links for me, sorry guys, I'm sorry that I have to keep taking a drink. My throat's getting a little dry, and because of the cough I've had for the past week, it's making it harder for me to talk, but I still want to get this video out for you guys and just talk about it. And because of this, it's like, this is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Of today. This is the Yu-Gi-Oh! Of today, where we've got all these different combos, all these different spams, all these different burns. Whereas when you look at Duel Links, it's like, oh, this is back in the old days. It's like, this isn't when we got all the new stuff like synchros and stuff. This is like just having fun. This is like original. This is like Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links to me. Like, comparing the two, this game, this is TCG. TCG in a general is very different compared to Duel Links, because Duel Links is like, this is my childhood. This is the area which is like my childhood. Like, this is what kind of drew me into Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, because it was able to sort of make me think of my childhood. It made me think of why I wanted to play it. It made me think of how I wanted to play it. It made me think of why I would play it to begin with. And looking at Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, in Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, I play TCG Yu-Gi-Oh! Today because of the childhood. So comparing the two in general is very hard, because Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG right now, it's like it just got a new ban list. We don't know what's going to happen, and I feel like it's going to be a lot more interesting than what we've had for the past couple of weeks, with like months even, with Spiral, with Trickstars, with all this other stuff. And we even got Expo as well, which is just bringing all sorts of new things. But when I look at Duel Links, it's like, oh, this is just a completely old world to me. I can play in this, I can have fun with this. And comparing the two, it's like, what would be better? Because Duel Links, to me, it's obviously new territory for me, and I know I can't fully describe what I'm trying to say, because of I've only had so much time with it. As I said, like 48 hours, because I've been like, seriously, I've had this for less than a week, and I've just been playing it so much that I feel that it's just so good, and I've just been enjoying it so much that I really do enjoy it. And it's like, well, comparing the two, it's very hard. So this video is just like comparing the two in general. The games are very different, but also very similar at the same time. Like, putting them as one game is really hard to say, and I really do like enjoy the aspects of Duel Links where it's like a campaign. I can play as my favorite characters from like GX, from the main original Yu-Gi-Oh series, but in real life I can also play I can play whatever deck I want, I can get whatever I want, I can get all the cards I want for free, not for free, sorry, I can get all the cards I want to play for fun, I can play online simulators as well and play them for free, I can go out and see my friends, and I'm actually interacting with people, getting new experiences, getting new responses. And then I look at Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, which is just like, it's fun to play. It's a campaign on my phone. I can play original characters. I can play on ranked mode as well to just see how good I can be, how good I could have been back then. But I still have that restriction of being like, I need these cards, I don't have these cards. But like, comparing the two in general, it's very hard to do so. And like, when you look at them both, TCG, the real game, it's a lot different to the original game, to what Duel Links is now, what Duel Links used to be, or what Duel Links is, or just what Duel Links is trying to be. Because like, back in the day, we had to deal with like Exodia, and you can deal with Exodia just by using the Yugi skill, which lets you start with all 5 pieces in your deck. And it's just like, all this different stuff in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links comparing to the real game is so different, and I just really wanted to talk about it, and I really wanted to express my feelings towards it, because it's like brings out the child in me. It brings out the child in me and makes me think, I used to be like this, I used to love playing like this, and I can't wait to play like this more. I really can't, guys, because it's just so fun, so good. It was so exhilarating just to play Yu-Gi-Oh! Back in the day, and it really does remind me of my childhood. Like, I remember when I was when I was in school playing and being like, oh, this is a special ability that no one else knows about. Like, this is what me and my friends did back then. It's just so fun to be able to play Duel Links and have these special abilities and do that. It brings out the child in me, and comparing it to the current game is just so different. And like and them two versing each other, in my opinion, like that's what this video is called, Duel Links versus Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. Well, it should be what it's called. I don't know. I might change the thumbnail. No, not the thumbnail. The title. But just comparing the two in general. They're both very good games, they're both very interesting, but if I had to choose between the two in general, I'll probably stick with the real Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG, just because it's something that I've made friends in, it's something that I've actually gained real experience from. Like, without it, I probably wouldn't have been I wouldn't probably go out, I'd probably just stay and play games all day and just not do anything. Like, I wouldn't have this channel, I wouldn't have you guys who watch me, I wouldn't be able to discuss anything with you guys, and like, having the real TCG is just like, I can't back off from it. I honestly think it's a lot better than Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, just because it's so far ahead and it's so much more skillful, but that still doesn't take away that Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is still an amazing game, and I've explained a lot about it this video, just talking a lot about Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, just talking about what I think of it. And for any of you guys who've watched my videos before, this is probably one of the longer videos I've made, and I don't know, it's like 28 minutes long, but it's just so good to see this sort of thing, this sort of area, and just be able to talk about it. But yeah, guys, what do you personally think of Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links and the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG game? Do you think they're very similar? Do you think they're very different? What's your personal opinion on it? Did you get into the TCG game because you played Duel Links, or did you get into Duel Links because you played the TCG game when you were younger? Tell me all of this in the comment section below, because I like to talk about this stuff with you guys. Like, I personally wanted to play Duel Links because sorry, because it was just, it enticed me. It attracted me. It was like, this reminds me so much of my childhood, but it's so different, and but so similar at the same time. And it's like, I'm so happy I put those hours in, and I'm just so happy to actually have played the game. But yeah, guys, that's the video. As I said, tell me all your thoughts on this video in the comment section below. Tell me your thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Tell me your thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! The TCG trading game in general. Like, I know I didn't go as deep into the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG game as I did Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links, but I've talked a lot about the TCG game on this channel already, so if you want to go see more videos of that, go look down my video list, go see some of those videos that I've talked about. Like, I do tons of videos about it. I like talk about the Yu-Gi-Oh! Ban list, I talk about cards, I do discussions, duel videos, I do all sorts. So yeah, But that's the video, guys. As I said, tell me all your thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links in the comment section below versus the Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. What's your personal opinion on both of them? Which do you prefer to play? Do you play Duel Links? Do you play the actual TCG? And if you want me to maybe do some Duel Links videos, I'll try to do that. And maybe even upload some of them to my channel. I don't know. I'll have to figure that out through my phone and see if I can actually do that. So that'll be really interesting to do. But yeah, guys. As I said, tell me all your opinions in the comment section below. Give me your full thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. Give me your full thoughts on TCG. Tell me what you think is better. Tell me how you got into Duel Links or Yu-Gi-Oh! TCG. And yeah, and sorry for all those random beeps. My group chat is on my phone and it won't shut up. But yeah, guys, if you liked this video as well, don't forget to press the like button in that little like button to show that you liked the video. Don't forget to press the subscribe button as well if you want to see more Yu-Gi-Oh videos from me in your subscription boxes. And if you want to be notified of those videos as well, don't forget to press the notification button to be notified of those future Yu-Gi-Oh videos as well. And yeah, guys, as always, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, as I just said. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links is really, really cool, but I just can't say it's better than the TCG right now. But yeah, guys, Robert Bat1 signing out. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time. Bye, guys.